one is Nandika. So we're going to set the clock for 6 minutes. Let me write Nandika's name down. Okay, Nandika. So what does Nandika do? What is Nandika all about? Why are we going to hire Nandika? So looking at this, my name is Nandika. I'm a user experience designer. Curious about human behavior and striving to create intentional design. Work on creative and intuitive experience based on research, okay? In the field of UX, my interests include research, visual design, and prototyping. Okay, this is great. I'm gonna say it's in between good and amazing. How could we improve it slightly? How many years experience do you have? Could you tell us a little bit more about yourself in this statement or this one down here somewhere? Curious about human behavior and striving to create intentional design. This is a little bit on the verge of kind of cliche or vague. What does intentional design really mean? Is it kind of just like a trendy word? What does that mean to you? Could you expand upon that? Intentional design, it's kind of like overlapping this statement too, right? I like that you said based on research. It makes me get the feeling that you can also do research. I'm not, I think in the field of UX, my interests include, I would be weary of the word interests. Instead, I would say something like, I'm skilled at, or I have experience doing. That's a lot clearer. Interests, it's like, yeah, me as Sarah, I'm interested in like AR, but I don't know how to do AR or VR, you know? So if these are things that you actually do as a user experience designer, then I would say I have experience doing, or I have 5 years experience doing, or I am skilled at blah, blah, blah. So this is probably one of the best versions of the homepage that I've seen in terms of a section where we are communicating what you do and then a little bit more about yourself. So great job on that, Nandika. What types of projects has Nandika worked on? I'm not going to click those. Let's scroll down. So we've got UX projects. We've got this. So I don't know why everything needs to kind of fly in like that. Again, animation, it should have a purpose. To me, it's a little distracting. Might fall into the category of a little bit of a design trend right now, but what is the purpose of that? So Nandika has 1, 2, 3, 4 projects, and then this fun section at the end where Nandika is telling us a little bit more about herself, and we're getting to know her, and we are hearing about her story and education and stuff like that. Call to action, download resume, okay? So each project does a really great job of showing us the project and telling us about it through a title, description, a link, and then little kind of like tags here to let us know what that is going to showcase. These are excellent. The only thing, I wonder if you could improve your titles to be more detailed. So it's like brighter, you know, app design for brighter, a mindfulness app for children or something, right? Even though you mentioned some of it here, this text, a lot of people are not going to read it. If you could just add, you know, some more detail here. Let's click into one of them. Let's pet peeve. I don't know why you guys like to put your screens slanted, because then I'm like this and I'm trying to read and my neck gets sore and I get annoyed. I don't know why do you guys do this? Why? Think of the user experience. Now I'm like, okay, yeah, let me just tilt my head more. I know I'm being like silly, but think of the user experience of your user. I don't think it's a great experience. So let's click into, let's click into this one. Newbie is a platform that connects transfer students with their local community and introduces them to events catered to their interests and backgrounds. Cool. So this looks like it went through a lot of the UX process, research, design, UI design, etc. I would make this clickable. I might turn this into a button or something. This font color on this background is a little hard to read, or I might put an arrow at the end of this to make it clear, like this is the thing you click. Let's click into it. Let me take a sip of my drink. Okay. Oh no, come on. Okay, it's loading, great. I don't see a contact, so I'm gonna say maybe it's under about, but it's nice to have your contact right in your nav or your email address or something. So great. Okay, top of the section, what do we like here? I like that I can see the product. So nice that we have the images, although why do we have to tilt them? I don't know. This, I like the use of space on the top of this portfolio, but like I said, I don't know why you need to tilt them all. What timer? Okay. An app that connects transfer students, great. So I'm like, oh, there's a lot of detail here. This looks pretty cool. Let's keep going. Now I'm curious. So now we've got project details. So kind of setting this up, giving me a little bit of context before I get into the details of it. You're telling us this was a class project. It was 10 weeks long. Great. You're kind of letting us know. Then there's a video, which I'm not going to watch. It'd be great if you told us a little bit, like in this video, you know, whatever, because I'm worried. How long is this video? I don't know. I don't have time. If you just told us like in this 60-second walkthrough or something, then I'm gonna click it because I think, oh, it's only 60 seconds. Okay, let's go. So just thinking of the content and the layout, we've got problem and solution, some text here. We asked ourselves, how might we inform transfer students? Great. This is what I mean by having like larger sentences, larger headlines. So if I only read this and don't even read this stuff, I get a sense of what's going on. So what's Newbie all about? Okay, so we have all these screens. You're kind of showing us the final deliverable, and I really am going to cross my fingers and hope we see how you arrived at all this as we scroll down the rest of the page. So, oh, excellent. And you labeled each screen. That's great. Let's keep going. So how did we arrive at all of this? Well, you did some research. And let's see, what do you mean by secondary research? What were the sources of that research? I'd be curious. Again, this is a place where you could say, and I'm making this up, but maybe you didn't interview people, but you did research around loneliness and whatever, and you read research studies or something. So maybe you said like, due to time and budget constraints, we didn't get to interview users. Instead, we relied upon, you know, academic research studies from psychology journals and blah, blah, blah. See what I mean? It's a lot more valuable than just saying secondary research, because I think, well, what does that mean? Great. So we have loneliness, etc., problems, case. So we have this competitive analysis. Again, instead of just saying competitive analysis, could you say, we looked at 7 competitors to understand how they connect people. And it looks like you did it in different industries, right? It was Google Maps and Bumble. It wasn't just like connecting exchange students type apps. Insights, okay. So then you did a survey, okay. Survey, how many responses? What did you learn from the survey? I am not a fan of just pasting the screenshots of your survey, Google survey. I would rather you tell me like the survey revealed, you know, 3 key findings in regards to how people stay connected or whatever you were trying to learn. Like, could we expand upon this stuff a little more? Because this gets lost because of all these giant screenshots. Okay, so next you did user interviews. Again, could we say, we did user research interviews with 10 people, you know, in 5 countries, blah, blah, blah. Because again, if someone did not read all of this, could we come up with one sentence or two to communicate some of the high level information from the research section? Okay. Also, spaces between bullet points will make it way easier to read. Now we've got these personas. Okay. These are super small. I wonder if we can make them bigger. I think you could if you stacked them on top of each other. Send you cultural probe and you're understanding. I'm going to go a little quicker here. So this is kind of cool. It's actually kind of really huge. I might make it a little bit smaller. From our interviews, we gathered struggles and concerns, social clubs. Okay, I don't need to, I like seeing this stuff, but now I feel like it's a little bit too much. I think like this is great. Maybe seeing that is okay. I don't need to see all of that. So there is a balance between showing, you know, the behind the scenes stuff for the research. Let's keep going. So fine, I would much prefer to see this than these. So if I were you, I'd just cut those out. So could we, final affinity clusters and themes after the research process, could we expand the sentence? Final affinity clusters and themes after the research process with regards to how, you know, student, what do they call them? Exchange students meet new people or get to know their new city or whatever it is. Like put on the user flow at the end of this. So we've got these, we have more insights, then we have more detailed personas. Okay, so you went from kind of like other personas to these. Did these all of a sudden just change on their own? I'm not sure. Great. Oh yeah. I'm not a fan of these just like swooshing along like this. I would rather you just show one of them or just put them both there because I don't have a way to navigate and that's frustrating. So then we have the journey map. Okay. Journey map of what? Journey map of how, you know, Joe, the exchange student, does this. These are moving on their own. I can't navigate it. I've lost control. Maybe I can click it. I'm not going to. I'd much rather these be bigger. Can you make these like in the same way that you did it for your animation thing? Can you make these bigger? Okay. So now we have these scenarios. Great. Then we have a site map. Okay. Then you have these wireframes. Okay. So these, oh no, now we're moving again on our own. I would much rather see, instead of seeing like, okay, I don't like when it moves on its own and I can't navigate. I would rather you do something like this. Can you show me like, how am I going to explain this? Can you choose one or two user flows and show me the progression of here are the sketches, here is the mid fidelity, and here is the, well, I have no idea how I just got into this world of, I don't know what. So imagine it's, you know, user flow onboarding and it's like sketches, mid, high, user flow, signing up, et cetera, et cetera. Imagine you're going to lay out or present your wireframes not just as here are all my sketches, here are all my low fidelity, here's all my high fidelity. Instead, can you group them into user flow 1, user flow 2, user flow 3, etc. Branding, user testing. Okay, great. I would love to see more titles on these. So, okay, now you're doing it. Now you're kind of showing us, here is the user flow of onboarding, right? Here is the user flow of instructions. These are super, super small. I wonder if you could maybe only show 4 screens and make them bigger or something. I wish some of these screens were labeled. I would really challenge you. Are there certain screens that maybe you should really zoom into? And I don't take that literally, But for example, like, is this a really important screen? If so, should it be like this big and you're kind of annotating it or adding notes to it to let me know the details of it? Because on one hand, you have to find the balance of presenting every single conceivable screen you made versus maybe the ones that are core to the product, right? Like, I wouldn't want to see forgot password or something like that. This seems very, very important. Feature screens. This more seem like, I'm not sure what app feature screens navigation. It seems like there's a better title for this, right? Like, instead of saying main navigation screens, does that mean what's attached to these things below? Or are you navigating the map? I'm not really sure. But for this, I think you could work on the titles for these sections too, because you say app feature screens, but could this say something like, exploring local restaurants, or I don't know what this user flow is because I don't know this product, but I would think, can you give better titles to some of these groupings of things and then what you learned? Okay, cool. Other projects. You might want to have images for each of these just to make it more like enticing for me to click them and then you click back home. Anyway, you have a ton of content here. I think it's mainly a matter of fixing the UX of some of this. So no more of these auto advancing things that I can't navigate. And doing a better job so that as I am scrolling, it's more readable and scannable. And there are more of this. Imagine if I only read this for the research section and that big thing you're going to add for the competitive analysis and that big thing for maybe the survey or something or user research. But anyway, hope this helps, Nandika. That is all we have time for today, guys. I have almost lost my voice. I want to